Hey everyone, it's Tox from critshappen.com. Thanks for watching and welcome back. So the Forcemaster versus Warlord expansion is out for Mage Wars right now. And I debated pretty hard about this, about how I should handle it. Should I review it? Should I preview it? What's the right thing to do? Well, we did an unboxing video a couple of weeks ago. And what we've done since then is play several games with both the new mages and a lot of the new cards. So what I thought might be better is to actually give you some insights into how some of the characters can work and some of the things that they can do. For example, I thought that the Forcemaster was going to be very much about control and range. And I'm exactly wrong in that most of the time she is control and melee. We have some extra cards on the board that we normally wouldn't have, but this is just to show you. And what we're going to do is today show you something that happened in one of our games. And then we're also going to go ahead over the next couple of days and show you some other events day by day. I'm not sure if I'll get a new video up every single day, but we'll do our best to get several of them up so you can take a look and get an idea for how some of the new cards play and some of the scenarios you may want to plot and plan for. So in this current situation, what we have is the Warlord has initiative. And the Warlord has actually gone ahead and used his quick cast to put out a fortified position, which gives all friendly creatures in this zone armor +2. And it's got a 0 to 2 range, so he went ahead and put it in here because he already had a previous garrison outposts. Outposts are a big thing for the Warlord. In this case, this outpost is 2 armor and 6 health, and it's a zone exclusive. It does have an affinity to flame in that it's going to take extra damage from flame, and it can't be placed adjacent to another friendly outpost. But whenever your mage summons a friendly creature that's a soldier, they can choose to summon it to this garrison post's zone instead of their own zone. So in this case, he used his full action to cast Crimson Deadeye, the Sniper, who is a phenomenal legendary creature. He has a quick attack that's melee for 3 dice, but more importantly, he has a ranged attack that goes from 1 to 3 zones and can roll up to 6 dice. He does have an interesting ability in that he rolls 1 fewer attack die for each zone of range beyond 1. So if he shoots to 2 zones away, he's going to roll 5 dice. If he shoots 3 zones away, he's going to roll 4 dice. But it's still a lot of dice, and it's still a long range, so it's really kind of helpful and really kind of nice. So after the Warlord's gone ahead and cast him, the Forcemaster is going to just have an absolute blast. Here's what's going to happen. The first thing is the Thought Spore has 3 mana on it. It's going to activate and use those 3 mana to use Force Push. Thought Spores, first and foremost, are pests. They're flying and they're familiars, and they gain mana. So in this case, this Forcemaster is going to use the Force Push on the Thought Spore to push the Warlord into this zone. Now you may be saying to yourself, why would they do that? I mean, that's going to give them +2 armor from the fortified position. And that's right, it will, but they have a plan. The only thing left for the Warlord to activate is the Orc Butcher. And in our case in this game, the Orc Butcher activated and moved 2 zones over. Now normally they can't do that because they'd be going through a zone with an opposing creature, but again, the Thought Spores are pests, so it's not a problem for them to pass by the Thought Spores. Then, the next thing that happened was really the most painful. So, what happened in our next play was the Thought Spore down here went ahead and activated, and he has 4 mana on him, and he went ahead and used the Invisible Fist, which was what was bound to him. The Invisible Fist is a 4 dice range attack for 0 to 1 zones. But more importantly, on an 8+ on the yellow die, it's going to daze. So we'll go ahead and roll, and in this example, we have 3 natural damage, 1 critical damage, and then 12 on the die. So what would have happened is almost identical to what happened in our game when we played this. The 2 armor from the fortified position gets absorbed here. So 2 total damage goes through to the Warlord. Not painful, he does start with 36 health, but a good plink, right? Well, more importantly, he gets dazed. And what dazed means is that when he tries to attack, he has to roll the yellow die, and on a 7+, he'll fail. And more importantly, he has -2 to his defenses. Well, then the next thing that happened, because everyone else had already activated, was the Forcemaster went ahead and used her quick cast ability to use Force Pull, which is an on-card special ability for the Forcemaster. It's 1 mana, and once per round, 1 to 2 zones away, she can pull any opposing creature towards her. So in this case, she pulls the Warlord all the way over into her zone. Now why does she do that? Well, quite simply and quite frankly, because with her full action, she's going to go ahead and double strike with her nasty, mean, terrible Galvatar the Force Blade. Galvatar, in my opinion, is the best card in the entire new set. And what it does is, it is a cantrip. This is probably the most important piece of Galvatar, because cantrip is a new keyword ability. When it's destroyed, it goes back to the Forcemaster's spellbook, which is tremendously powerful. So if you can think about it, the Forcemaster creates this double-edged blade out of force, and if somebody destroys it, it just dissipates, but she knows how to cast it again. So it's pretty amazing. And in addition, she's got Dancing Scimitar on her. Dancing Scimitar is an autonomous piece of equipment that goes on a mage. You'll notice it doesn't take up a hand, so it doesn't have the axe icon. It does have a melee defense that once per round she can roll, and on an 8+ she avoids melee. So she's perfectly fine with that Dancing Scimitar pulling the Warlord towards her. Even if he had the Warlord's mace, which we'll show you in another video, she would be able to have a defense against that attack. But more importantly, the full action for Galvatar, she has 2 options. She can quick action and do a 4 dice attack with piercing +2, or she can do a full action for 4 dice and do sweeping or double strike. So she has the option to sweep and hit both targets, or double strike and hit one twice. And obviously in this case, we win the game by beating our opponent mage, so she went ahead and rolled 4 dice twice against our mage. Now the Warlord is away from the fortified position, so he doesn't get the armor bonus. So unless he had any armor on him naturally, which in this case he didn't, he's not going to be able to absorb any damage. So the first roll would go, and she would hit for 4 damage, and then the second roll would go, and she would hit for 4 more, doing a total of 10 damage between the Thought Spore's Invisible Fist and the Galvatar the Force Blade, which is almost a third of the Warlord's attack. And on top of that, she's ready next turn with a defense roll to be able to prevent or avoid any attacks the Warlord or the Orc Butcher may throw at her. And she can move around and do it all again. Now, one thing we haven't even talked about, which some people have done, is on top of the Force Push or the Invisible Fist on the Thought Spores, throw Harmonize on them, because they do have channeling on their own, and Harmonize will just make it even more valuable and more available for you to cast those incantations or attack spells. We hope you like this. These are not meant to show the most competitive, most critical, most amazing combos, but they're just things that we had fun with that we wanted to share with you. We're going to be bringing you a couple of more over the next couple of days, so stay on the lookout, and we hope that you like them. Until then, let us know your thoughts. Feel free to leave your comments here on the YouTube channel. Of course, you can find us on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Google Plus by searching Crits Happen, and you can find us at our homepage at critshappen.com. But until we see you next time, keep rolling those dice, and we hope they're all crits.